Well, hi everybody on YouTube or that watches my YouTube videos. This is my Savage. Uh, let's see, it's a 93 R17. This is in 17 HMR caliber. This is by far my most favorite rifle to take out shooting. Number one is it's left-handed. I'm left-handed. Uh, it's incredibly accurate. It's not necessarily like the cheapest freaking thing out there to shoot. Damn it. Screw it. But I I just wanted to take a few moments to talk about it. And talk about some really good cheap add-on features that you can get with this gun. Mine is the heavy barrel, the bull barrel. Um, this right here is the magazine that came with the gun. It is a blued steel. It's a polished blue. It's not aluminum or nothing like that. It's steel. A magnet sticks to it. It's a 5-round magazine. So this gun, as it comes out of the box, would be 5 plus 1 for a total of 6. When I got it, it did not have any sights. There were 0 sights on it. It had these mounts attached. Like, these mounts are permanently attached to the receiver. Not this mount, but there are lugs that these mounts sit on, which are all right. I wouldn't have put a scope on here. I mean, this isn't something that I necessarily, when I first got it, that I wanted to have scopes on it. I originally would like to have a set of a front bead sight and like a right here about where the chamber is, or maybe back here for a sight, so I get a real long sight radius. Real nice set of sights. But I'm happy with this really cheap scope. It's a CV Life scope. I bought it off of Amazon. Yes, I took a chance on an Amazon scope. All right. It has actually turned out to be pretty freaking awesome. It was a like a bundle package. And I also got a CV Life front bipod. And I tell you what, I couldn't be happier. It does what I want it to do, which is when I go to my matches, my shoots, and everything. Which I'll have another video coming up in April of all the people that I get together and I go out and I do a 3-gun match with. This rifle I take with me to the rifle matches, and there are guys out there that have 308s and 270s and 30-06 rifles, and a lot of them will just shoot to shoot to shoot. And what I mean by that is some of them will shoot at stuff, and I mean they can't hit it with it. With this rifle, with this configuration, with that Accu trigger, which if you swap out a spring in that, you go like literally straight from like the lowest you can go is a 3-pound, and if you lighten up the spring in that and polish up the connector or the disconnect the deal for it, where your trigger actually is, it goes down to 2.5 pounds, which is really freaking nice. On top of having a 17 HMR, within 100 yards, it's an incredibly flat shooting round. Alright, within 100 yards. After 100 yards, you get about 6 inches of drop. Or I'm sorry, it's 3 inches of drop for every 100 yards, roughly. Now, I say that roughly, because the everybody's ammunition is going to be different. Um, but there's something else that I would like to talk about with this rifle is at 150 yards with this gun. Here's how consistently. Now, this is a cold bore shot. This gun has already been zeroed. The scope on here, normally, I'll have it set for about 150 yards. So it'll show it. Yeah, it's 150. And I'll normally, when I'm at normal shooting, I'll have it at about 16 times magnification. Set it at 150 yards. Let's see if I got my turrets set right. Let's see, I got my marking right. Yeah, it's right on. But normally I'll have this all set up. I'll adjust my to get my clarity for my picture. I'll get my objective lens set. And then I'll get the magnification, and then I'll adjust this for clarity. And if it's dark, I'll turn this on. It'll go red or green. And it has different intensities of the light, which are really kind of cool for being how much I paid for this scope with. I bought these mounts separate, and I like the idea of having like an individual strap as opposed to having like a one-piece unit, because I felt like instead of lapping it like you're supposed to, I felt that having an individual strap on each side, okay, here and here, that made more sense to me for accuracy, because it gives it a firmer grip. Whereas if you have a one piece, if this part isn't true, then it's going to throw off this side, or if this side's not true, it's going to throw off over here a little bit as opposed to over here. So I like this a lot better, and so far it's worked out pretty good as far as accuracy goes. I was able to nail at over 150 yards out, and this was recorded. It's 150 yards over. It was over 150 yards. There was a shotgun shell that I walked down and I placed in a bush. Just stuck the end of it right on the little twig that was sticking out. Walked up there. I shot it with this rifle. Shot it clean out of the branches. And I tell you what, I mean, having a scope with this, it goes all the way up to 24. Having a scope with this type of magnification plus this for an objective lens, and I've already ordered a, like this comes off. It's really, really crazy fine thread. I'm not going to take it off all the way. But a sunshade that will come out to about here. I mean, when you really think about that, having a 6-inch 58 millimeter objective lens sunshade cover, the scope can see better than this bullet has the capability of traveling. This bullet can travel a really long ways, but and when I said that, I meant it would, because the bullet itself will probably go for a couple miles. All right, if I aim it right and the wind's just right, it'll probably go for a couple of miles, just kind of like a 22. This scope makes damn near 3/4 of a mile seem like it's right in your face. And that's not an over exaggeration. That is true. It just is. It seems like it's literally just right in your face. And it's all right. It's kind of nice, but yeah, that and one of the things that I'd like to I was trying to get the bolt out in the earlier part of the video. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. When I got this thing, I mean, it was incredibly stiff. And I do mean it was stiff. It was hard to maneuver. And I mean, it didn't really want to work with me on anything, no matter what I did. What I did to try and clean it up and see if it'll focus. Oh, come on. Focus. Damn it. I don't think it's going to focus. Okay. See that little burr right there next to the numbers is just to the left of them. All right. That burr is what catches on the little deal right inside on the other side of this. Your trigger activates that. All right. Catches on the thing here. All right. But this is what catches to keep the bolt in place. This. There we go. Bring it back in focus. Come on. There we go. But that right there catches, and it will not let it come back any further. Well, that was creating a burr, and it was scratching the inside. So I took it off of there, and it seems to be working pretty freaking good so far. I keep this bolt extremely oiled. I use like a mixture of oil and grease. And I mean, it is extremely wet all the time. And I'm not worried about anything, it getting too terribly bad, because, I mean, it's not, I don't know how to take this bolt down and put it back together, because if I did, I would go over it with some 1000 grit sandpaper and really freaking slick it up and clean up the inside a lot. But I mean, it's a pretty good rifle. I mean, anybody that's on the fence about buying one, I mean, you really can't go wrong with it. And I really mean that. I really do. I mean, it is a damn good rifle. The only thing that I don't like about it is the safety. And I'll show you why. Okay, it's really easy to go on, but you got to really push to get it off. I don't know if it's like that for every gun, every Savage rifle, or maybe it's just a left-handed model thing. I don't know. But I mean, it is super crazy easy to put that safety on. But to take it off, I mean, it takes a little bit of force. Put it on, nothing. To take it off, man. Another thing that I use this gun for, besides target shooting, is I'll take it out and I will shoot coyotes with it. Growing up, I've always shot coyotes with 22s, 22 magnums, never 22 shorts or 22 long rifles. But yeah, we've always done that out here on the farm, and I mean, it's worked. It drops them. Shot placement is freaking everything when it comes to stuff like that. And I don't think I mentioned how much the scope cost me. The scope itself and that bipod was $96 shipped to my front door. And as you can see, it'll focus. It's a 6 through 24 by, or it's a, with the X, it doesn't really stand by for by or times or anything. It's just a, it's a 50. Oh, I thought I had a 58 millimeter objective lens. I guess I got a 50. But I don't know what the AOEG stands for. But I guess I had a 50. Well, shit, I guess I ordered the wrong sunshade then. I guess I'll have to send that back to Amazon once it gets here, or call them and cancel it. So I guess I need a 50. Alright. But either way, I mean, it's pretty sweet. I mean, you can hit some really nice stuff with it. I mean, they make left and right-handed models. But this entire setup that I have, and I kind of overpaid for this magazine. This is stainless steel, 10-shot magazine. It literally, I paid like $28 for this 10-shot magazine. Sorry guys, I'm a little tired. But I know in like some countries, like overseas, like a lot of people, I'm gonna reference Australia because I know I had a friend of mine that lives in Australia, and this magazine, it's a 5-shot magazine. He was telling me about this rifle that literally they had to pay $50 a magazine. What kind of bullshit is that? I mean, $50 for a 5-shot magazine. That is just ridiculous. And I told him, I said, well, how would I mail you pieces of this magazine and then you just kind of put it together yourself? And he was like, no, I'm not doing that. And I was just like, well, I mean, I can't say I tried to give you a little bit of freedom there, bud. He kind of laughed. But yeah, that's what a 10-shot looks like sticking out of it. It's all right. I mean, it doesn't really bother me having with the bipod on there. Now, if I was carrying this around without the bipod and without the scope, and if it had sights on it, and I mean, I've also took this out squirrel hunting, but your 5-round is like it's pretty much a flush fit for the most part. I mean, it's pretty much a flush fit. Like it just barely sticks out. No big deal. Oh man. Oh, that, and I color filled it. And the checkering, this is the real wood, this isn't the plastic. The checkering is pressed in. It's not actually cut in, which, I mean, I'm alright with. But this entire setup cost me like $450. I mean, for $450 for a 20-inch bull barrel out of a 17 HMR, you can't beat it. I mean, I can't beat it. I mean, you get, and if I were to buy a 22 Magnum version of this rifle, everything that is my 17 HMR magazines, I can use in that, and I can use the Magnum magazines in this, which I think that's a huge plus, because the feed lips and the angle of the followers are exactly the same. I mean, they're exactly the same. This one right here is meant for a 22 Magnum. They're the same width. They both have the little tip thing cut into them for the 17 HMR, but they're universal. You can use the 22 Magnum or the 17 HMR cartridge in 22 Magnum magazines for your Savage 93 line. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily the 93 line, but I know that these are interchangeable. That's about it. That's about where it stops. But I am planning on buying a 22 Magnum bolt action rifle, and I'm probably going to end up buying a Savage. But I'm going to end this video real quick. I just figured I'd get it up there, and if someone watches it, they watch it. I'm just trying to put some good information out there, and you can get a lot of really good cheap aftermarket parts. Like if somebody's just wanting a cheap rifle to take out to the range and just have some fun with the thing, this ain't a bad option. 17 HMR is kind of expensive. Oh, and if anybody loves Reds, I do. I love Reds and I love Copenhagen. If anybody hasn't figured that out yet. And I love America. But I wanted to focus down here on this 17 HMR. Oh man, I need to rewrite that. This is my ammo can for my 17 HMRs. I used a lot of I got a spent casing in there. But those bulk pack, the 200 round ones that you can buy at Walmart for like $50. To me, that's a pretty good deal to have. I need to get that spent casing out of there. Put it over with the other spent brass. But these right here, I really like them. I like the flex tips or the plastic tips because you can shoot anything, just about damn near anything with this. Squirrels, ground squirrels, ground hogs, possums, raccoons. This little round will do it. When I get chickens out here, if I decide to buy another Savage 17 HMR, might not be in a left hand. I got pretty lucky when I found that. And, this right here would be a go-to, real good, cheap option for, somebody who's wanting to use it as like a homestead gun. Because they don't take up a lot of space, especially for prepping. But when you get into these I think are kind of expensive. I got one in here that's kind of marked up a little high, I think. $18. $18, but these are the lead-free hollow points. All right. And those are a total metal. They're all metal. And then here's this. These are another total metal tipped. And these are not hollow points. These are pointed. Yes, these are pointed. These are not hollow points. They're just as pointy as those down there. But this, excuse me, $12.99. And those are solid metal. Those don't have any lead in them. But then I also have a box of these that are a mixture. Some are the red tips, some are those down there. But I think I paid like $12 or $13 for a box of 50. And to me, yeah, it's more expensive than a 22, but you get a lot more out of it. Like, let's see, this is the VMAX. Let me just show you the expected velocities. It'll focus. Come on. There we go. At 100 yards, it's that's funny. 1776. That's awesome. If that ain't American, I don't know what is. That's pretty cool. I didn't even realize that. at 200 yards, you know, that's got some decent power to it. I mean, that's like a decent, seriously powered pellet gun at 200 yards. I mean, that's pretty decent. It doesn't say, unless it does, uh, what barrel they used, barrel length, but I'd imagine it would be a 20-inch barrel, 20 or 20-inch, or I don't. I would think they would use the longest barrel to achieve that velocity of 2,375 feet per second. I would think that they would, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Oh, see, now this is where it gets interesting. They don't say on here what the... It's interesting. But it says it on here. See, you get 2,500 feet per second with the VMAX. And there's only... Oh, those are 20 grains and this is 17. So realistically, it's 3 grains less. And you get 1901 at 100 yards versus 1776. So that's a decent amount difference. You know, that ain't too bad. That's not a bad amount in difference. I wish this one would have said, but these are like the TNT. They're called the lead-free ones. I haven't shot these, but these very... Oh, wait a minute. This is 16 grain. Oh, come on, focus. It's 16 grain, so that's the lightest out of them all. Huh. They feel heavier, though. Maybe it's because they're a hollow point. Maybe, I don't know. Because these are the ones that are pointed. Because they're still sealed. I haven't opened them yet. But, you know, I just figured I'd share this with everybody. You know, no big deal kind of thing. I just wanted to put this out there. I just wanted to feel like I should make another video. I haven't made that one in a long time. But, yeah. Hope everybody has an awesome day. I've got another video that I'm probably going to put out today. I don't know what it's going to be on. But, I'll just put something out. I'll just keep putting out videos until, you know, the channel grows and more people, you know, enjoy what I'm doing, or maybe not. I don't know. But, well, I'm going to get off here, y'all. Hope everybody has an awesome day. Remember to, well, shit. I was going to say something, but I forgot what I was going to say. Man, I hate when that happens. But, well, I'm just going to get off here, y'all. Hope everybody has an amazing day. Like I said, I'll put up another video. Take care, y'all.